Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We are live. Hello and welcome to Stream of Consciousness. If this is your first time here, my name is Queena, and this is a live stream completely about the art of conscious creation. It is also about everything that is going on in my universe right now as I am creating the reality that I want to see, and my energy is feeling good. All right. I'm currently live on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitch. So thank you to everybody who is joining. Of course, you could talk to me inside of the comments. I'll reply back to you as we're going on. But honestly, I just want to talk to you, right? Stream of consciousness is very much just I'm going to spend every single day just working on articulating my thoughts, trying to understand some of the things that's happened over the course of the last 24 hours. And then, of course, talk to you about whatever it is that you have going on, because I can't be the only one out here who is trying to quantum leap. All right. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure I am fully connected, and I'm gonna talk to you about what we got going on today. As you may notice, we have a guest appearance on Stream of Consciousness today. This is my green cheek conure, Milo. Okay, she ain't want to be about that life, clearly, because she was fine right before I said her name. Milo Bird is my fellow species friend who enjoys being a sound in the background. So I just bring her in here just so I can have another species with me. So, of course, if you see her, hear her, be sure to say hello to Bird in the comments. Okay, so I have I got 36 days until the World Championships of Public Speaking. I am currently competing in the World Championships of Public Speaking. I am top 25 in the world. And this last week has been interesting for me because I've been working on the idea of identity shifting in the sense of me, one, coming to terms with the opportunity that I've been working for. And that happens quite often in our lives where we're just like, she's playing with her maracas. That happens in our life so often where it's like, have you ever worked for something? You worked really hard to get something, and then when you get it, you realize that a switch flips, and you then have to actually begin the real work. Am I the only one who's ever been through a situation like that? Because Lord, that's literally what I'm going through. The moment it happened, I was so excited. I felt like it was going to happen because that's how I operate, right? If you really want something in your reality to change, you have to act as if you already have it. So that's how I was operating. I'm actually kind of curious. How does anybody in this chat feel about humility? Like being humble? Any of y'all humble? Anybody who's in the chat right now, tell me, are you like, if somebody were to look at you, be like, hey, this is a humble person? Because I don't typically get that. I don't typically get that energy. How do you feel about humility? Because I genuinely question to myself if that is a valuable trait for me to possess. I arguably question if that is a valuable trait for you to possess. Any human being, for that matter. You see what I'm saying? I wonder to myself, because the idea of me going for the world championship and then also looking to say that I'm like, oh, I'm a humble person, that sounds almost contradictory. It almost sounds contradictory. I'll be honest with you. And it's because I'm thinking to myself that I'm like, I feel like in some way, shape, or form, like when I hear the connotation of humility, it's this idea of shrinking myself as to not make the people around me feel uncomfortable. What is the definition? As if definitions really matter, because definitions don't matter like connotations do. This idea where it's like the way people perceive a word is more important than the actual definition. I don't care. If somebody looked at me on some like, well, Webster says this, I'm like, but you don't operate with that belief. You know what I mean? Like somebody would be like, well, this is what humble actually means. So therefore I'm like, but that's not how the brain perceives it, which is different and more important, because it doesn't matter what somebody else externally says about it. It matters how you actually interpret it, because that determines your actions and behaviors. Let me define it. I believe that I'm humble. You know what's crazy? Because your name is Humbly in My Own Lane. That's wild. What's up, Humbly in My Own Lane? Talk to me about why. Why are you humble? And what is humility? I don't know. And I'm going to define it right here on the chat. I'm going to define humility right here on the chat. And I'm going to be curious. It's a humility. Humility is a quality of having a modest, accurate view of one's own importance and abilities. I don't know. See, I would love, I'm interested to hear what you got to say on this, Humbly in My Own Lane. But the reason why I'm saying I don't know is because there's a few words inside this definition that is subjective, right? The first word is modest, and then the second word is accurate. Because I don't know how to define what a modest idea of my view is, and I also who determines the accurate view. The point that I'm trying to make, though, is that if you are seeking greatness, humility is in opposition. Mainly because in order for you to achieve the things that you want to achieve, you have to increase your level of self-importance. You have to increase the level of value that you feel in yourself in order for you to maximize whatever it is that you want to do. It's the prerequisite to being able to manifest the things that you want to create. The literal prerequisite. If you don't believe in your own self-importance, if you don't believe in your own abilities higher than what you have right now, you're not going to get higher. Because if I'm looking at myself like, okay, well, I'm okay now, so I'm just going to believe that I'm okay. I don't operate under that facet. Okay. So humility is a thing that I've been I was toying with, because I was having a conversation like, yo, how am I going to hold humility? How am I going to sit with being humble as I'm starting to build these things or whatever? And it's not to say that I want to operate from a place of arrogance, because the opposite of humility typically is like, yo, if I'm not being humble, then most people will be like, hey, well, you're obnoxious, you're arrogant, you're full of yourself, which is a whole nother conversation. We need to start getting honest around the fact that people make it evil for you to be centered in yourself. It's a negative connotation for you to be self-centered, for you to be selfish, but then there's this other element of self-care or, self-assess or self-esteem, self-awareness. Like, we have had now an attack on people who are focused on developing and building themselves. And instead, we have people who are far more focused on comparing and contrasting what is going on with people outside of themselves. It's confusing to me. That's confusing to me. The moment and I'm super sensitive, or let me rephrase that. Because I'm is in the present. At one point, I was super sensitive about the idea of being selfish. Has anyone ever called you selfish before? Because if you've been alive long enough to pick yourself or prioritize yourself over someone else, someone has called you selfish. And in that moment of time, you're thinking to yourself, well, what you're really saying is that I am prioritizing my needs, my wants, and my desires over the external world. And we have to be honest that there is nobody in the world, no one in the world, who's going to give the care and concern to your problems like you will. There is not a single soul, because I don't care about what is going on in someone else's universe more than I care about what's going on in mine. Why? Because I wake up, I live, and I close my eyes with my cycle revolving in me. There's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. That is a bar. Who are you? Who are you? You know what I mean? That's crazy. Okay, so this person said there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. And that's fire. That's absolutely fire. Right? Because I know that there's this level where it's like you have to believe in your own self-importance in order for you to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve. You have a dream. You have a dream. You have a goal. You want to get to someplace. And in order for you to get there, you're gonna have to develop some, a level of superiority complex. What's up, Carnisha? Blessings, blessings, blessings. I think I caught the last episode too of the podcast. You're an artist. I could tell. That's why. Yeah, you're an artist. I could tell. I can tell you got bars. You got bars, right? But there's like, listen, I am trying to be a world champion. In an effort to becoming a world champion, in an effort to shifting my identity and saying, this is the thing that I'm going to do with myself, one, I have to ignore the reality that I exist in. I have to ignore everything around me that tells me that I am incapable of doing the thing. This is a delusional act. It's a delusional act. I am only interested in being around people who are crazy. I am a fan of the crazies, okay? Because I fit in with them. It's okay. It's okay to be like that. It's okay to take that time in that space. Why? Because you know that the vision that you have for yourself, it's in your own mind. It's in your own head. You see it. I see my dreams on the inside of my eyelids. The inside of my eyelids. And I learned arguably like a decade ago, after like venting and talking to anybody who was around me, that I was like, there's no amount of adjectives or descriptions you can give to another person for them to be able to see what is in your mind. Why? Because that vision was given to you and only you. And it doesn't even matter whether or not the vision works, because so many people are so concerned about whether or not their dream is actually going to come to fruition. That doesn't matter. What matters isn't whether or not it works. What it matters is that you listen to your intuition. That is the most important thing. Whatever it is, if you're saying to yourself, okay, I want to build a business, I want to, become an artist, I want to do whatever it is that you are saying to yourself that you want to do, right? It's more important for you and your own self-respect, your own signal to the universe to say, I feel this, therefore I'm going to do it. The only thing I beg of you to anybody who hears me at the other end of my voice, whether you are watching live on YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram, hear me now. Whatever dream or goal that you have to be very cautious when you first begin, that you do not share that dream with somebody who's going to pull the seeds from the roots. Hear me. Because in the beginning, it is so sensitive. It is so sensitive because you need light, you need water, you need all these things in order for a dream to happen. Be very cautious. I'm not saying that you can't talk to people, but I have seen too many scenarios where somebody would be like, yo, I got this idea to do something. Like, it'd be super fire if I like built this business that did that. And then you don't even realize how you may be opening yourselves up to somebody else's limiting beliefs, somebody else's failed attempts. And they don't, and it doesn't even mean that they're doing it negatively. It's just because that's how their life shaped out for them. I have conversations with people and I do things well after I've already said to myself that it doesn't matter what you say. I didn't know I was coming for a word. Let me pull up a CEO. You funny. Every day. So this is stream of consciousness. I talk about reality creation. I talk about what it means for you to create the existence that you want, because I don't know a single human being who isn't trying to become something. I don't know a single human being right now who isn't trying to become something. Why not? Why not? Do you like realize how awesome it is to be alive? And then how awesome it is to be alive now? There is no other time in human history I could be having this conversation with you right now besides now. Oh, thank God. Oh, I'll be out here like, damn, I'm so happy to be here now. Because the way that opportunity exists, and I promise you, if you are somebody who follows me or if you are around me, and if you don't feel this way, I need you to unfollow me now. I only want to see the opportunities. Don't tell me about what's going on in the world. I don't watch the news. If you post something crazy, I'm going to unfollow you in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. That's how I live in delusion. I live in delusion because I only surround myself with people who have practiced what I believe to be true in the way to get to what you want to get, and they have gotten it. That's how I live there. That's how I live there. You know? Grant Self-Made. What's up, sis? I don't know if you know about Grant Self-Made. Grant Self-Made, this is my sis. You feel me? And I met my sister in Costa Rica, right? Incredible artist. But even think about how much words, the amount of power in words Grant Self-Made. From the moment I met you, he was like, nah, yo, self-made. I'm going to create myself. That's the responsibility that we have. And it's a responsibility. I'm not going to say it's easy. Sometimes I'll be thinking, does anybody know somebody who's older and they've been acting this? Like, I know grown adults that act like they still in high school. I've seen grown men and women be like 40, 50 years old. And I'm like, that's childish as hell. Are you throwing a temper tantrum? Is like, are you throwing a temper tantrum because you didn't get, like, you know what I mean? I'd be seeing, you ever seen people like that, right? The people who at some point their life stopped evolving, their life stopped changing. One, I thank God for those people because they are a cautionary tale about what is going on, that of the possibilities that could happen if you don't evolve. Because I will tell you something, whether or not you choose to evolve or whether or not you choose not to, you are still doing something. But the point that I'm trying to make, though, is that those people who have not changed, right? Those individuals who haven't made the steps to say to themselves, like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to grow, whatever. They're setting themselves up for that. You know? God sent your real to me this AM and this message is on time. Ooh, bars. I appreciate that so much. And I'm trying to also let me not say trying. I am consciously making the decision to talk directly to a specific person in my reels, because the faster I do that, the faster I unmask, the faster I get comfortable with just expressing my opinions, is the faster you can be connected to the people who share your thoughts. I'm looking for tribe. I used to have friends based off my proximity, and that can't happen no more. Excuse me. My friends were based off of my geographic location. Right. So when I was in high school, you know what I mean? You kind of make that, you know, I mean? Like, kind of, we had the same interests if we were in a club or something like that. Then you go off to college, again, geographic location. I'm off of that now. We live in a different time. You know what I mean? Plenty of people. Like, I got Grant in here. That's Costa Rica. I'm pretty sure Carnicia is on an island somewhere. Because every time I'll be seeing your videos, it'd be sunshine when I be in darkness. So I know you on a different part of the planet. Like, and I have a lot of followers who are from Africa too. Like Africa, I got plenty of followers from Europe. Also, tap in. Let me know where you're logging in from, because I'm almost certain that y'all probably all, you know. Let me know where you're tapping in from. I've literally never seen or heard of you. Oh, well, I'm here. I am here. I promise. You know. Well, you know what? I'm neither here nor there. But that's also the thing too. Like, I'm not so inflated with my own stuff. Most people don't know about me. I think the hard part about social media, and if any of you like grow a large amount of followers on social media, the hard part about social media is that if there is somebody who has seen my videos or seen my content, they know me before I know them. So I'll go to an event and they'll be like, oh, yo, Queena, I was da-da-da. And they talk as if I know their name. I don't know who you are. Hi. You know what I mean? I'd just be inside of my room, 4 walls and a bird. So pretty isolated. London, what's up? What time is it in London? Hold up. London time. 5:52 p.m. Oh, your day done. You well in the day. You well into the day. Mine just started. It's 12:50. It's 12:53. Mine just started. New York, where you borough? See, now when somebody says New York, I'd be confused. If you just say New York, now I'm saying to myself, like, which borough? Like, I feel like most people would be like, yo, it's you know what I mean? I'm in Brooklyn, I'm in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't usually meet people who say NY, unless you like up there, like you in Syracuse or Rochester. Well, I'm gonna need sharing because what you heard today was truth. Yeah, I speak it every day. Stream of consciousness. And I think the other reason why I have this stream, I mean, I really appreciate every single one of you who log into the stream, but there's a few different things that I'm practicing every day. One, I want to practice my articulation. I have been speaking for 25 years, but there is a skill to being able to take thoughts, opinions, sources, quotes, and pieces of information and then articulate them quickly, articulate them on cue. That is a gift. Because when you know how to say the right thing at the right time, opportunity the doors don't just open, they swing. They swing. Because all of a sudden, if I walk in and I can break the structure of a room by the way that I articulate myself, I got them. So much opportunity. So much opportunity can come from that. Somebody looks at me and be like, hey, what is it that you do? I'm curious. I haven't seen you before. What do you do? There are so many people in the universe who want to change their consciousness, change their reality, and they don't understand that they're a creator. And since I've been one for 25 years, I'm doing my best to inspire the ones that are behind me. My name is Queena. I don't know if that's what I'm going to say, but I'm glad I recorded it, because I'll record it and I'll listen back to it. I'll be like, how do I feel about that? Am I going to do reality creation? And then I determine what I'm pitching to them based on the person. That's a whole nother conversation. We ain't got to get too into it. So we got Queens. Is it Kenya? What up, Kenya? Baltimore. What's up? I got a lot of folks in Bmore because my artistry is poetry. And I don't know, because I'm from Jersey, so New Jeru probably gonna feel, you know what I mean? But they know the deal. Baltimore got poets. Honestly, the grittiest places in America got the best artists. So that's why as soon as you said you was an artist, I'm like, oh, okay, you in Baltimore. Oh, okay. The grittiest cities in the world got the best artists, because there is something about an artist's ability to convey emotion that is separate. It's elite. That stuff. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I get goosebumps thinking about it, because I don't think artists realize the magnitude of the skill that they possess. Right? And I'm not even going to say, I probably shouldn't even specify it to artists, because I view everyone and everything as a creator. Whether or not you are consciously creating or unconsciously creating is completely up to you. That is completely up to you. That's when they say you got free will. That's completely up to you. But everybody is creating. We want to call it like content creation now, because like, oh, if I'm like, oh, are you a creator? People will be like, no, I don't make videos or whatever. I'm like, forget all that. Forget all that, bro. Imagine you had the ability to create the reality you wanted for yourself. Imagine. Oh my goodness. Where it's like, not just getting the things or the experiences that you want, but getting the feelings that you would get if you had those things and experiences. Knowing that when you have money, you feel security. You feel a sense of ease. Knowing that when you get into the relationship, you feel and experience love, being seen, connection. That's so beautiful. You want to create something? You want that reality? Feel those feelings before it exists. That's how it works. It's backwards. They've been lying to you all this time. People constantly keep thinking I have to change the outside world. It's wrong. You change the inner world and the outside will follow. You work backwards. Every thought creates, whether we like it or not. Bar. Here's the thing about that, though. And I had this conversation on my last stream of consciousness. If you want to rewatch the last 2 episodes, it's on my YouTube channel. But here's my thing about thought. I am an overthinker. Do we have any overthinkers in the chat? Any overthinkers in the comments? If you're watching this replay, tell me if you're an overthinker or not inside of the comments. I am an overthinker. When I tell you, honestly, sometimes when people tell me things after I've thought them through, I almost think you're questioning my intelligence, because I'm like, do you not think I've thought about every possible variable that exists? You know what I mean? People be like, oh, did you think about this? Do you know me? Have we met? Because clearly you thought I was born yesterday. I'd be overthinking like nobody's business. Anybody overthink? Okay, we got some overthinkers. Yep, my people. I'm finding tribe. I'm finding tribe. Right? I am in chronic. So here's my thing. If you are interested, like if you listen to any manifestation things, or if you're listening to anything that's like subconscious programming, they always talk about how your thoughts become things. That's the phrase. Thoughts become things. The problem as an overthinker is that I will say something like, I'm an overthinker. And I immediately, because I'm so used to like catching my own awareness, I'll be like, oh, Queen, you can't say that. Because I am means I'm in the present. And if I don't want to be an overthinker, that means I have to live outside of overthinking. I got to stop saying that. Okay. I am someone who is working on, I overthink so much when it comes to that. That's why I had to like reframe the idea that thoughts become things and instead reframe it to like feelings dictate the future. It isn't as a close of an alliteration, but follow me. I'm cooking. Follow me. I'm cooking. I promise. But the reason why I say feelings is that it's not just the thought. It's not just the thought that I am this or like this bad thing is going to happen. It's not just the thought. It is the conviction that you have in the thought. It is how much you believe that thought is actually accurate. And you know the difference because I know it doesn't matter. Like, even for the people in this room who agree with any of the things that I'm talking about, you're like, yo, Queen, you spitting some game. I didn't even realize I was going to do that. I guarantee you, I have thoughts and beliefs and opinions that you don't agree with. Right. And I'll view them differently. Right. Because we all have different perceptions. We all have, different ways that we view the world. So that's what we make sure I'm going through the chat. We got a lot of overthinkers in the chat. We got a lot of overthinkers in the chat. What comes first is thought or feeling? And yes, belief is the catalyst. What comes first, thought or feeling? Dang. I feel like I've seen so many videos that answer that question. And I'm thinking to myself, what comes? Because I know it's thoughts, beliefs, actions, right? Because you can have a thought and then it depends on what you believe about that thought. And then what you believe about it determines what you're going to do about it. So part of me wonders if the feeling happens first, or there's also this thing too, right? Because the thing about it is, I'm a Pisces too. The thing about it is people have such strong beliefs about what, like, let's say how society is. Like, somebody will say to themselves, let's go with one belief. My most popular video on my Instagram page is a conversation I had with a millionaire. It got 1 million views. The irony. I literally manifested that with the video, but again, who am I but an alchemist? But the most popular video I have on my page is about me having a conversation with a millionaire. And one of the belief systems that I had to reframe in order for me to get that conversation to start working with millionaires was that I had to change a belief system that I had that rich people were evil. Anybody ever heard that before? Has anybody ever heard a belief that the rich are evil? Like, if you, or in any way, shape, or form, even if it's not that sentence, then you say to yourself, like, okay, the people who are rich, they got rich because they had to lie, cheat, and steal to get there. Oh, they got a whole lot of money. They had to have done something terrible, right? It's a belief system that I had to shift. Because if you have a belief that does not serve you, it is there to control you. How do you feel about it? So I think to myself, I'm like, dang, like, yeah, all that money, I wonder what they had to do to get there. And instead of me believing that this had to result in some kind of I'm like, nah, let me find out what's up. What happened here? How'd you get here? The fastest way for you to change a belief, like if you have a belief that's so near and dear to your heart, that's the ones that's going to be the hardest to shift, by the way. That's why I tell people, I was saying before, like those people who didn't change, like all those people who are older and they never change, I don't blame them. I don't blame them, girl. I don't blame nobody. Honestly, when I be seeing them folks who be like 60 years old and they still acting like they 16, I halfway don't blame them, because identity shifting is quite literally the hardest thing you could do. Because you're literally telling yourself the things, the ideas that held the fabric of your universe together, you have to question them now. Imagine the sky ain't blue. The grass ain't green. What am I do now? What? I am smart. I can achieve my goals. I'm lucky. Good things happen to me. What? Ugh. I don't blame people who do not, like, when I see people who are just, they act the same way 60 or 16, I don't blame them. Because it's too hard. It's too hard. It is easier. I'm not saying you're going to have an easier life. Never said that. Never said that. I actually heard a quote recently where someone said that if you choose the easy thing, your life will be hard. If you choose the hard thing, your life will be easy. I said, oh, look at that. I've had this conversation many times and we go back and forth. This would be a great live. Oh, it would be. I don't know if I can bring somebody on a live because I'm streaming with OBS and I'm also on YouTube. I might consider it though. Like send me a DM. Send me a DM. I might have somebody hop on a live or two and we just get some, you know. It's hard. It's possible and it's our responsibility to ourselves. Shifting beliefs is part of these experiences. It's so helpful. I do think everybody has their own responsibility to create the reality that they want, right? I think we have to get honest about the fact that there are some people who aren't going to change. And not only is that good and beneficial, but necessary to this entire thing we call life. Without seeing those people and seeing those experiences, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. You don't know how many times I've made the best decision of my life by looking at somebody else's mistake. Oh, shit, that's what they're going to do? I am not going there. Wait, hold up. Did they just... Oh, that's what happened when they went? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this one instead. They say a smart person learns from their mistakes and a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. Right? What? I love, man, those people, them cautionary tales. They're not going to stay in my energy field for too long. Don't worry about that. They ain't going to be in my energy field for too long. But what they will be is a good example, right? God is within me and not just above me. It's a question mark. And I don't know if you have a question on that, but if you're coming here to ask that question, yes. I am that I am. I am that I am. And you are. You are. There is no separation. So when they said before, like, superiority towards your fellow man, the problem with the third dimensional realm is that there's a separation between me and you. You think you're watching me. I think I'm talking to you. Like, there's a problem. There's separation, which isn't true. It's not true. Because if you came into this live and anything that you're watching resonates with you, it's not because of what I'm saying. It's because you see yourself in it. And you can see yourself in it because of the connection we have as human beings. You see yourself in it. You ever like see somebody in a video get hurt and you flinch? Like you almost feel a phantom. Ooh, ah. That's why I try not to watch stuff where like somebody, and if I hear it, it's over. If I hear it, I might even grab the spot where I saw it. Ooh, my face then all scrinkled up. I was completely unaffected. I'm 2,000 miles away, and this video was taken 3 years ago. Ooh, damn. It been like that? Immediately, think about that. Every single time something happened to somebody, if I saw some, and I do a lot to make sure I don't see things, I don't see a lot of negative thoughts or whatever the case may be. But if I see something that happens, like, somebody, some tragedy, a fire happens, a car accident, my first thought, dang, what would I do in that situation? What would I do in that situation? I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I probably have to. That's my thought. That is my thought. Every single time you see something happen to somebody else, there's a filter that happens because you, at some subconscious level, you recognize that anything that could happen to anybody else can happen to you because I. Right? Yeah. Okay, you were talking about the identity shift. Absolutely. The identity shift happens. I don't even say I believe in God, right? I know God. It's a difference. Believe almost implies that it's some kind of like story, like a fairy tale or something. And I'm not here to argue with anybody about the existence. Call it whatever you want. God, universe, consciousness. I will use them all interchangeably. I'm not here to argue the existence because to be honest with you, it's just more beneficial for me to know what I know. It's more beneficial because why not be connected to the infinite source of all things? If you had a choice to be like you or be the all, I'm gonna choose the all. I'm gonna choose the all. I'm going to choose the one that gives me superpowers. I'm gonna choose the one that gives me superpowers because when I believe in superpowers, I do things like anybody watch That's So Raven? Because I am a big fan. I was definitely that girl. I once I truly started to take time to be still to know God, I started to have visions. You know what I saw? I saw who I wanted to be. I saw what I wanted to feel. I saw what I wanted to do. And then every moment forward, I just kept saying what I wanted. I am you, you are me, we are, I am. Absolutely. And again, the greatest time in human history to exist is now because more people are awakening to that. Because now we have more teachers. We have more teachers. We have more data that proves. We have more data. If anybody asks me like, yo, why believe that over anything else in the world? That's a good point. Like what, you know what I mean? If I met somebody, you know, there was somebody who's like, you know, they're a Christian, they're a Muslim, they're, you know, whatever, like whatever religion you choose, somebody would be like, why believe that over anyone? How do you know that's the right one? You know, right is, by the way, a subjective statement. I mean, right, wrong, what is that? Everything is. Everything just is. Everything just is. But what I was saying though is that like that's for me, it doesn't it's not a question about whether or not it's right or wrong. And it's really like because if your goal is to do that thing, then that's the right answer. Right? For me, it's like a full-time job and exhausting because the limiting thoughts and beliefs are nonstop. Then the intense feelings that are produced by the lies, exhausting. Oh, it is. It makes me tired. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be transparent. If you saw this is my third episode of Stream of Consciousness. I've been doing this for the last 3 days. It's 111 right now, by the way. The EST time is 111. But I was cycling through an issue that I had because I'm going to Vancouver for the World Championships of Public Speaking. If you guys don't know it, you know, support me in that process or check out my website. Let me put it here on the on the chat. You know, I was going through something because I was like, this is going to be so expensive. It's going to be so expensive. And the people who are competing in the World Championships, they doctors, you know, from all around the world. I'm like, these people got money. And it's going to cost me thousands of dollars to go compete. I know I belong in the room, but the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because I had some limiting beliefs that showed up. They don't go away. So I'm not having this conversation from a pedestal. If you are having doubt in whatever it is that you're going to do, you should get comfortable with doubt because that doesn't change. And doubt isn't going to change because if you are on a journey of evolving and growing, that means that you will eventually become a beginner again at something. If you are evolving and growing, if you stay the same, right? If you learn a pattern, let's say if you work at a job and you get to that job in the beginning, you're not going to be good. But after 2-3 months, all of a sudden you could do the shit with your eyes closed. And if you did that for 25 years, ain't nothing going to change. Ain't nothing going to mess up. You got it. You've been doing the pattern over and over again. The reason why doubt is going to keep showing up in your life is because you keep evolving. So that's a good thing. It's a signal. It's a signal. The only thing I will say when it comes to that, and this is what I had to do to break out that limiting belief, and this is a really good example because I was really concerned about how I was going to get the money to do this. And what I ended up doing, I made a video about this too. I was going through a process of trying to negotiate with the Airbnb hosts. I was like, I'm going to send them an email, a message to see if they would get me a discounted rate. I would tell them my story. I would use the abilities, the resources that I have. I don't have money. What I do have a voice. I have an internet connection. I'm going to use it. And I reached out to dozens of them. And I got one person to say yes. And the one person who said yes, I just got 8 minutes away from the competition, and I got it for $1,000 less than the ticket on the listing. He was so like happy to help me out. He's never met me before a day in his life. He didn't see my Instagram page. He just read my story and said, you know what, I'm gonna do that. And that's all I like. I had those limiting beliefs. I didn't know if somebody was gonna say yes. I thought I was wasting my time. And I woke up this morning and I got the offer for it. And I was like, immediately, I was like, the only advice I give to anybody who's stuck in a period of doubt is do. The more you do, the less you doubt. I don't care if it's the right thing. I don't care if it's the wrong. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because the only way to get out of the cycle of self-doubt is to do something. Because the more you do is the more information you will receive. And that will tell you whether, like, it'll give you the data you need to make this decision or to keep making the one that you just did. Do I stream it? I stream every day. Or I won't say every day. Right now, Monday through Friday. I just started this, by the way. So let me know in the captions, if in the comments of the captions, if you want me to continue streaming, because I just started doing this consistently. You know, I just started doing it consistently on Monday. So this is my third day. Today's Wednesday. So yeah, existence is binary. It's neither something that exists or doesn't exist. I exist, thus existence does exist, and I am existence itself. You deep. I'm gonna follow you back. I feel like we gotta. And you a speaker? Are you a speaker, Gio? I'm gonna go through these comments because I can tell that they're moving. But Gio, are you a speaker? Because I'm definitely gonna hit you. All it takes is one. That's all it takes. You ever seen someone commented it's all it takes is one, and so accurate. Yeah, I only need one yes. It don't matter how many people rejected me. Plus, at the end of the day, the benefit about asking everybody is that I would have been in the same scenario had all of them said no. I'd have been in the same exact position. So there was really the only thing I had to sacrifice was time. The only thing I had to sacrifice was time, which is why anybody who looks at me and they're trying to get money to fund their dreams, if they're trying to get money to fund something that they have going on, I ask you immediately, what have you already done to make that happen? Because if you are waiting on money to do something with your life, then money isn't the problem. I promise you. You want to know why money isn't the problem? Because in no situation do people actually want the money. Like, it's not the paper that they actually want. Think about it like this. If you had money right now, what would you do with it? If somebody gave you $1,000 today, what would you do with it? It's not like you're going to put that stack of money onto the counter and be like, well, look at that. I have the money now. Let me play with the money. You know what I mean? Let me touch it. You know what you're going to do with that money? You are going to use it to acquire a resource. Maybe you pay a bill. Maybe you're going to, buy a new camera. I don't know, buy a new phone or put gas inside of your car. You are going to use that money to buy something. You're going to use it to acquire another resource. I beg of you, if you are looking to do something right now and you don't have the money to do it, think about what resource you can offer in exchange for doing that. In exchange, I am the barter queen. Who in this room want to barter? What y'all got? What y'all got? We could trade. Who got a skill? Who got some skills y'all willing to trade? Because I am the queen of a barter. I'm the queen. Let me know. Let me know, and I'm willing to do it. Okay. Let me make sure I follow you, Gio. Let me go on to Instagram right now and make sure I follow you or follow you back, because I like your brain. I like your brain. You know what I mean? I'm hoping you be posting the stuff that match that energy too, because you know what I'm saying. Let's see. Okay, bar. I am. You know what's interesting too? So the comments that come from the comments on YouTube, those are quick, but the ones on Instagram, they're a little bit behind. So please bear with me if I'm like going through and I'm not getting to you guys. And I'm on live for about another 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions or thoughts, like maybe you saw a video on my page and you want to have a conversation, I'll be on live for another 10 minutes or so. Number one in the world, everybody just don't know it yet. Ooh, bar. That's the goal. You feel me? I'm trying to be the best in the world. I'm trying to be the best in the world. And I actually had to reframe that. I'm gonna be honest with you all. I am competing for the world championships, but at this point in the competition, I am no longer concerned about being the world champion. I could definitely do it. I'm not confused about that. I just believe at this point it is much more important that I become a world champion than it is for me to be a world champion. And I'm going to say that's from my heart and my soul. Like, I want to make sure with as I prepare for this competition, because right now I'm writing my speech and this is super helpful. So every time I do these streams, I am learning things about how your thoughts, and they inspire me. I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I should really talk about I am that I am. Like, that might be the speech that I bring to the stage, you know? And I do this because anybody can inspire thought. Anybody can inspire thought. But the process of me doing this is much more about me becoming the best, and not just the best speaker in the world, but the best version of myself and the best that I can be. Because that's what we want, right? We just want to be you know that you were made for more. I don't know exactly how you see that about yourself, but you know that you were made for more. You know that there's some aspect of your life that could expand if you had the energy, the focus, the resources, maybe the money to be able to do it. And I know that at this moment in time, you may be looking at a lack in one of those things. The best thing you can do, follow people like me, follow people like Neville Goddard, right? Maybe even Geo Dixon Speaks, because we obviously talking the same language. Follow those people. You want to know why? Because being able to be inspired just one day longer might honestly give you that spark, the motivation that you need. Not even this motivation, the momentum that you need to keep moving forward. Right? Oh, you got skills? Let's trade. What you got? Tell me what your skills are in the chat. What does everybody do? Because you know I'm a talker. You know I'm a talker. I'm a different kind of streamer, by the way. Sometimes I honestly don't know. I was looking at the Streamer University application and I was like, I don't think I want to do this, because streamers just made me feel like teenage boys. And I'm not saying that like girls don't do it or whatever, but I mean, like, it feels childish. Like, I don't want nobody to prank me. I want to be pranked all day. Or like somebody be like, yo, chat, we about to eat a sandwich. You know? I don't know. I don't know if it's, I might be, I don't be watching streamers. So maybe I'm ignorant to the streaming world, but I just don't, I'm like, I can't imagine what Streamer University is like. I feel like people would be annoying. I'm like, I can't take nobody seriously because everybody trying to run a joke. You know what I'm saying? I can't move nowhere because everyone's trying to get a viral moment. I feel, I don't know how I feel about that. Are there conscious streamers? If there are people like me, drop them in the chat, because I might watch somebody talk like this. You know, I usually be listening to curated stuff. All right. So every second of the search is a second with source. Bar. One of my favorite books, The Alchemist. Bar. Alchemy is the greatest practice on earth. Alchemy is the greatest practice on earth. Alchemy is the process of taking one thing and turning it into another. Do you have pain? Turn it into your passions. Right? Do you have lack? Turn it into abundance. Queena, how do I do that? How do I change my belief systems? It's so simple. Never said it was easy. It's so simple to change your beliefs. You want to know how? Oh, I'm about to give you the key. I am about to give you the key. Please listen in. If there is a belief in your head that you want to change, the key is to create new experiences that contradict the previous belief. That's it. That's it. If you have experiences where you think this way about being in relationships, you need to go out and find relationships that contradict that belief. Because the more you do that, is the less this belief will hold its presence in your life. If you think that everybody who is rich is evil, find more people who have money that do good with it, and it will change your perspective, right? That's how you do it. Find more experiences that contradict your previous beliefs. I said that to somebody before and they was like, well, I met one person, but everybody else I meet, you know what I mean? They not like that. Or like, you know, one good guy in the world. Like it's like an anomaly, right? It don't exist. Yes, Barry. Yes, Barry. They be like, nah, it don't exist. It don't exist like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only that one person. I beg to ask you, whatever that belief is that you are trying to shift and change, how long did you believe it? How long did you believe this? Has it been days? No, it's been years. arguably sometimes decades that you have an outdated and limiting belief, and you meet one person, you started practicing manifestation for the last few months, and you like, well, it ain't working. Do you understand what compounding is? Do you know how long it would take the world to convince me my name ain't Queena? You know how long it would take the universe to convince you that your name isn't your name? It would take the rest of my life. This next 30, Queena, your name's John. Your name's John Queena. That's there's no way. I don't believe that. I don't believe that because I've had 33 years of belief that this is who I am. You can't shift it. And think about it. The longer you believe something is the harder it is. Is difficult it is for you to change it. You know, unless something traumatic happens, because that's a whole nother conversation. Because your whole life view can change instantaneously with the right amount of trauma. Don't go that way. Nobody wants to go that way. Life just usually do that. It's like one day you're here and the next day grief. Oh, my whole world. Like my whole world. Okay, so we got social workers, mathematicians. Oh, what? I don't know what we could trade, but that sounds fire. Neville Goddard has been my go-to. I was listening to Neville Goddard this morning. I listen to Neville Goddard every morning. And the conversation today was on luck and how you create your own luck. We got a visual artist from Portugal. See, I told you, I got folks over in Europe. That's in Europe, right? I be saying stuff online like, what continent? Yes, it's in Europe. I'll be saying that. Speaker, yoga, meditation. Oh, that's fire. We might have to do a meditation. Like, let's say for like a stream of consciousness episode, we start off with like, you know, maybe like a 10-minute meditation for anybody who joins the live, right? And we meditate over, you know, we should do that. Let me follow you back. Let me follow you back. And then Slovenia. Wait, what? Low Ren. Boom. Follow back. You're healing heartbreak and unhealed trauma patterns. I am. Love without self-abandonment. Oh, you talking to me. You talking me. You talking straight to me. Because one thing I will do is self-sacrifice. I'm a Pisces, by the way. My entire life, decades. You know, everything that needs to be accomplished begins with a wish. Absolutely. Desire. We gotta be cautious though, because wanting leads to more wanting. The annoying law of the universe is that you cannot have what you do not already have. Most annoying law of the universe. Oh, it's annoying. It's like, what? How can I have money if I don't got money? How can I have love if I don't have love? You got to find it. You got to create it. You have to create it. That's why I call everybody creator. You could do it. You can make anything. You can make anything. Anything. Anything that you see outside of you. There's not a single thing that I have in this room. Not a single thing in this room that didn't come from thought, from somebody else's imagination. They made this. I didn't make this. They made this. They made this. What makes you think you're different? What makes you think you're different? Huh? What makes you think you're different? Make, create. You know what's it's so wild that I've heard this all my life, and it wasn't until the last 2 months of my life that my brain like exploded when I heard someone say that the first action God ever took was creation. You're right. People be like, oh, God is love. God is a creator. What is the first verse? In the beginning, God did what? What was the verb? In the beginning, God created. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to be. I want to be that. I want to be that. I want to be the first thing that ever was a thing. That if we want to go with tradition, if we want to say the beginning is where, I want to go with that. I want to go with that. I'm gonna be a creator. I'm gonna create things. I'm gonna create things. And then when I learned that that wasn't just art, when I learned that you could create experiences, where you could create relationships, where you can create visions, oh, I said, hold up. What happens when I push on one side and something in life comes out the other? And you know where creation happens? That's why your imagination is so powerful. And that is why children, when you look at them and you see them in their eyes, when they're out there creating their own universes and things like that, why it's so important to savor, to really hold and protect that level of imagination, because there is where everything, this is where it all, imagination, creator. That's what I want to be. You are the creator's most creative creation. Bar. That might actually be a tattoo. I go hold you. You are the creator's most creative creation. And that is what you are here to do, create. That is what you're here to do. You can do it consciously or unconsciously. But no matter what, even if you decide to not make a single decision to create the reality that you want, you will be creating the reality that you don't want. It's impossible not to create. It is literally impossible. So long as you have consciousness, you will have creativity. How you choose to use it is completely up to you. How you choose to use it, right? Oh, it's great. It's great. I really chose a great job. And I think that it is my duty, my mission, my calling upon this earth to help activate the creativity in other people. Okay. I've almost been on this live for an hour. So shout out to every single one of you who have been on here. Been on here for 57 minutes. So you got 3 more minutes out of me. And I'm going to hop off of this live, because what's interesting is that I actually created a clipping platform, like a software, that I'm going to take this long form video. I'm going to clip it into 30 short form clips and post it all over the internet. Yep. I'm posting it all over the internet. And I'm going to do that so that the people who may resonate with this information will find me. So that the folks who were at the top of this live video and they said, I've never seen or heard of you before. Well, let's change that. I don't got a lot of money to do it, but I'll tell you what I do got. I tell you what I do got. Oh, and boy, do I got it. Boy, do I got it. I done thought of everything. I done thought of everything. Creation happens in space, first in your imagined space. Everything. Man, that everything that you make comes from here. It comes from here. And I get goosebumps every time I see the product in the world. I get goosebumps because I say to myself, before I had the thought, this didn't exist. Before I had it wouldn't have. I brought this into 3-dimensional space. You ever think about that? When you look at the things that you have done, say to yourself, it was not here before you had the thought, before you had the imagination, the vision. You had it, and now it's here. You brought something from fairy place. You brought something from the ethers and turned it into something tangible in the 3rd-dimensional realm. Bro, you're a magician. You're a magician. That's magic. Keep doing that. Ooh, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Because every time you do it, you are inspiring somebody else to create their own reality too. What days and times will you be going live in the future? Great question. This is an experiment. I am testing this. I'm going live. I'm usually live around 12 p.m. EST. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of been a little shaky. You know, somebody's daughter been keeping me up at night. But I'm usually live, right? Sometimes I'll be like 9, 12. I don't know. You let me know. But I'm usually 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. EST. But it's definitely in the morning times, and I'm doing it Monday through Friday. Right now, I'm just testing it. Right. So I'm going to do 5 episodes. So I'm going to go live every single morning. I'm clipping to, create that content. I'm going to test it out and I'm going to see if it works. Because I don't know if this is the right answer or not. I don't know if streaming is the thing that I'm going to continue to keep doing. Absolutely no clue. And I'm not here to know. I am not concerned with the how I get to my destination. I'm just concerned that I follow my intuition. That's it. If this is how it works, all right, shout out to God. I don't fuss on the how. If I were to spend time trying to figure out the how, I would not have gotten any of the opportunities that have moved me forward in life. I don't focus on the how. How it happens, who knows? Okay. Gratitude to everyone on this live. Gratitude to you too. Because clearly we got some manifestors in the building. You know what I'm saying? We are aligned. Shout out to you. It doesn't always notify me. It doesn't notify me either. Yeah, like there's plenty of people who go live and I just don't know that they're going live. But I'm going to say that I'll probably be doing it either 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. EST. Write really quickly in the caption, in the comments. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, thank you for indulging. If you want to join live, I'm going to have to pick a specific time because every time I go live, somebody asks me and I've been doing it at different times. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. 9 a.m. EST or 12 p.m. EST. And I'm doing it Monday through Friday, right? If I need to change it in the future, we'll do that. But you got 2 more days. And then over the weekend is when I'm going to evaluate if this is going to be something I continue doing. Right. So really appreciate your feedback on that front. I really appreciate your feedback. I don't know if y'all got to do some conversions because everybody be out here all over the world. Y'all be out all over the world. I'm like, I don't know. That'd be crazy. Like on your lunch break. Cause I feel like 12 p.m. EST, that's lunch break time. Like folks is like, all right, let me turn on the podcast to make it through the rest of my day. My YouTube name is the same as my name. Yes. My name is my name everywhere, by the way. I hide from no one. I hide from no one. Queena Bergen. You know? But if I'm on stage, it's just Queena. Coming to the stage, Queena. I love when you pull out the A. Man, that A. I'll be looking at my mama sometimes. I'll be like, yo, you know you did your big one on that name, right? You know you did your big one. Because I ain't never met another Queena. And I promise you, you meet me, you ain't gonna meet another one like me. But Queena, I like the fact that my name is 2 syllables each. Queena Bergen. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I feel like it just set the tone. You know? Like, I feel like she really set the tone. I was like, dang, I gotta be some royalty. I gotta be royal. You know? My name is my name. Yeah, Bart. Oh, what's up? Franklin. Hey, it's Franklin. What's going with you, brother? All right, so 12 p.m. it is. So what time is it in South Africa? Yeah, see, this is the problem when you have all these international folk. South Africa time. 7:37 p.m. Oh, so this was 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock. That wasn't bad. All right, South Africa. That's not bad. I might actually, yeah, okay. That ain't bad. So this is like right after work, maybe. I don't know. Maybe right after work, you popped up and you was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get some manifestation. But yeah, this is Stream of Consciousness. I appreciate every single one of you who hopped onto the live. I will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST. Write down them 3 letters because, you know what I mean? Good job, baby bird. You know, me and maybe Bird. Right, Bird? You want to give him a little, you're happy with the people? Yo, look at that. Yep, the people see you. Yep, yes, the people see you. No worries. They got you, Bird. All right, you got your moment. You got your star to shine, okay? Listen, man, look at that. I'm telling you, man, consciousness is beautiful. Consciousness is absolutely beautiful. It's in everything. Living things, small things. And I am doing this purely and solely because I know I'm in the process of identity shifting and creating my own reality. And I know so many people, they are living in this time in society. And it's hard because you're so aware of everything else that's going on with folks. You're so aware about what's going on around you. And you are trying your hardest. You're like, you know what? The world could be burning right now, but I need to be able to figure out, how do I find the light? How do I find the light? I know you're looking for it. I know you're trying to find it. I'm with you. I'm with you. And the best thing that you could do is find somebody else who also got a flashlight in their hand That's the best thing. Find them folks, find them flashlight folks. Because them folks with a flashlight is going to try to figure it out. Because listen, I got to be here till I'm not here. So I might as well make it. Okay. I really appreciate every single one of you for hopping onto the live. If you want to rewatch the stream, of course, you could check it out on my YouTube channel, Queen of Bergen, or you could find it at the link in my bio. If you are interested in helping me get to the World Championships of Public Speaking, please click the link on this live video to donate. I'm also going to be having a course come out soon to help people be able to tell their stories. The moment you're able to tell your story, the moment you're able to articulate yourself, express your thoughts and ideas, is the faster you will get to the reality that you want. So I really appreciate every single one of you. Please, 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 every single day, ignore the reality that you have to get the reality that you want, because no matter what direction you choose, you are creating. You are creating. I appreciate you all. Peace.